Hey guys, day 26. Back out here again. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Just gonna do my walk today, and I think we're gonna talk about, as I mentioned in the short, we're gonna talk about loneliness, and dealing with difficult people. I guess I kind of have that on my mind today. Had it on my mind last night. I watched some videos. There's a lot of people out there talk about, basically dealing with loneliness. And I've been watching some videos. I saw this one from this guy that follows me, Survival Commando, I think is his name. But there's other people out there as well. And I think it's always good to hear a lot of different people's ideas about it, dealing with loneliness and how important it is to be able to deal with that, so first I want to talk about some fitness update. So yesterday I got 2 workouts in, and got a nice little run in too. It was actually pretty quick. I was pretty surprised. I ran a mile in it's about 8 minutes. I think it was 8:40 or something like that. I don't know, I guess I had a little bit more energy. But I ran that mile in pretty good time. Like I said, there's a lot of hills out here, so it definitely affects it. If I was just running on flat ground, it'd be probably a lot faster. But anyways, so some good progress. Like I said, all the calisthenics are feeling pretty good. Today's going to be a 3 workout day. Maybe not. I got some stuff going on with work today. That's another thing. It's been really tough lately. Just trying to manage the work and doing these videos. As you could probably see with my last couple of videos that I like cut short or have some issues with them. I just don't have the time I did when I was off from work for PTO. But so now I have to do it before I go to work, and then do it like real quick at lunchtime. And it only takes me about 10-15 minutes, and then I go for a quick walk for about 45 minutes. But so it's a little bit more difficult now. Definitely a little bit of challenges there, but I'm still doing it. Still having relationship challenges. I don't know, let's talk about that a little bit. I can't really get into the details right now, and maybe eventually, once this whole divorce thing is finalized, I can get into all the gory details. But when you're going through a divorce, you got to be careful about what you say. And just a lack of awareness on her side, I guess, and what she does and how it affects me is definitely one of the things that bothers me. Lack of remorse, and lack of understanding, right? It's always been about what's important to her. Is she being loved enough? Is, whatever it might be, right? It's never been about, what she could do for me. And it just wasn't that type of thing. Good morning, how you doing? Morning. Good, hey puppy. So it's just there's just a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. It's a lot to deal with. So anybody out there dealing with this kind of stuff, you're not alone. And everybody deals with things differently. These things will make people go crazy, and maybe even do bad things too. I'm not that person. I'm smarter. I value my freedom. I value my relationships with my kids, and there's just, you realize that things never benefit from going down a dark path in life, so just know that, especially for you young people, going through stuff, man, don't let your emotions and everything just like take over you, right? It's easy to do, right? I'm no angel. I've lost my temper with people on the road. I've lost my temper and other times too, but especially when you're charged like this with a lot of stuff, it can be very very hard for a young person, man or woman. And I just hope that you just stop, don't react to what you want to do. You go and you try to be okay with the situation. You just say, it's not worth it. Your freedom, your happiness. You don't need to go beat anybody up. You don't need to go do any of that stupid stuff, because it doesn't fix anything except for maybe put you in jail. And maybe some other person is, like I told you before, maybe he's a drunk, maybe he doesn't take a punch very well, and then, you're in jail for the rest of your life. Or whatever you might think about doing, right? It's just, you got to be very in control of yourself, and I think that's the important thing. And so I just wanted to touch on that, and it kind of talks about the dealing with difficult people, right? Because sometimes we react to difficult people. Maybe they snap off at you, and your automatic reaction is to snap off at them. And I've dealt with difficult people my whole life. As I mentioned before, the guy who taught me how to work on computers was a very difficult person, not a pleasant person. And I've worked with a lot of these, difficult people throughout my career. Whether it's military, usually it was, I guess I had most problems with usually like light colonels. I don't know, maybe they're just trying to prove something, but it just seemed like I had a lot of problems with those guys. But that's a 05 if you don't know, it's like an officer. But usually there were, good morning, usually Marines, or I think Navy was also a difficult one. But my time out in Camp Smith, so yeah, out in Hawaii, I was out there for a while. But anyways, just dealing with difficult people, you just gotta just deal with it. And just like that kid did when he came over my house trying to sell stuff, he handled it in a better way than I probably would have, but I don't know. But we always just got to try to work on ourselves. That's the only thing that you have control over. You have no control over another person, what they're going to do, what they're doing out there. And, it's just, you got to kind of compliment yourself too. Like, hey, I didn't react how most people would, right? And you got to be proud of yourself too. Be proud of yourself that, I didn't do that, And, it's a small thing, but it does help, to be proud of yourself and the way that you react to things. So, I just want to leave you with that. And there's a lot of difficult people out there, but I would say that it's probably not even 25% of the population is like that. So don't kind of put yourself into a mode where you're just kind of grumpy all the time and whatever, and you're just kind of anticipating dealing with grumpy people, because most of the people are good, just like the people I meet out in the trails here, just nice people. So anyways, next thing, talking about loneliness. I don't know, man. It definitely, it's all hit me at once, right? It's like my kids are all grown up now. They're all doing their own thing. One of my kids traveled out of state, recently. My other son, he's always working out at the gym or working. Never really see him. My daughter's working all the time. And my wife left me. So it was just all at once, right? All at once that this all happened to me. And like I mentioned before, I got a large house. And I just sit there and I'm just like, wow, this place is empty, man. It used to be bustling and like things going on or people talking, and it's a big change. It's a big change. And I think when you get lonely, I think you automatically think, I need companionship. I mean, even the Bible says, that God created Eve for Adam, right? And it's like, that's kind of how everybody's raised, right? You got to have a companion. The animals are never going to be enough to provide you the happiness that you need in life. So, I don't know, man. There's a lot of men out there that can be solitary, be okay, and happy. And I want to see, right? I told myself I wouldn't even consider dating women for a year. And the idea of, never doing it is daunting. But, maybe that's what's in there. Maybe after a year I'll figure it out, right? Figure out how to deal with the loneliness. Somebody just to be there. Like I mentioned before, just my ex wasn't really supportive or very loving. But sometimes just having a person next to you or around you, or that they're part of you and your future, it's kind of comforting in some ways. So I don't know. I think that I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I don't know. It's a hard one, man. It's a hard one. And I think one of the guys was talking about, you had to be okay with yourself as a person, right? I think a lot of times we're getting on our cell phones, we're getting on a computer, always trying to keep our thoughts into something else. But maybe something about just trying to be within yourself and what you want to do, right? Maybe you need to invent something. Maybe you need to get into music. Maybe you need to read books and lose yourself in books. Because these are things that it's very difficult to do when you're in a relationship, because they're always wanting to say, hey, let's go do this. You're like, oh man, I was getting ready to read that book. Well, when you're by yourself, you can kind of do what you want to do. If you're into video games, you can play as much video games as you want. It's like you have time to do what you want to do. And I think once you start appreciating those things that you want to do, then that loneliness will kind of go away. Because now you're focused on what you want to do, and you can do what you want to do. And I think it's good to have friends. Just like I have friends out there right now watching.